And Tanzania's mining industry has come under the spotlight as two parliamentary committees present reports to President John Magufuli after investigating some former ministers and top government officials for signing and consenting to corrupt mining deals. In one incident, the investigation found a government official received a gift of diamonds worth $200 million in dubious circumstances. The reports are also faulting the government for relying on mine company statistics for key data such as the size of the diamond reserve in the mining area. Negotiations between the government and the Barrick Gold Mining Company are underway to resolve a tax payment dispute. Earlier this year, President Magufuli launched an extensive investigation into the mining industry and introduced strict mining laws as he argued the country was not getting a fair share of profit from its mineral resources. And a group of allies of Ivory Coast's former President Laurent Gbagbo, including at least one living in exile in neighboring Ghana, have been alleged to be behind a wave of attacks on security installations this year. The Interior Minister, DIKE, explains that 35 people, a number of them soldiers, have been arrested for involvement in the violence. The attacks have raised fears over its long-term stability, more than 6 years after a prolonged crisis ended in a civil war that killed more than 3,000 when Gbagbo refused to cede a 2010 election to current President Alassane Ouattara. And the controversial French Beninois activist Kemi Seba has been expelled from Senegal. According to RFI, Senegal considered Mr. Seba's presence in the country a serious threat to public order. The activist, who is opposed to the use of the CFA franc in several West and Central African countries, burned a 5,000 CFA franc note in public last month. He was charged for his action, but was acquitted by a court in the Senegalese capital, Dakar. A French daily newspaper reports that one of Mr. Seba's lawyers confirmed he was deported to France on Wednesday and denounced the action as an illegal expulsion. Despite this expulsion, Mr. Seba's supporters have vowed to continue their protest against the CFA. Joining us now is a journalist, Alpha Kamara, to talk more about this. Many thanks for joining us, Alpha. What more can you tell us about the expulsion of Kemi Seba?
Yes, it's true that Kemi Seba, Franco-Beninese activist, was expelled from Senegal on the orders of the Minister of Interior. Well, according to him, he said his continuous stay in Senegal is a security threat. You know, and that's how he was expelled. And late Wednesday night, it actually happened around after midnight, and he arrived in Paris around the early hours of Thursday. So what happened was last month, Kemi Seba organized a public event where he burnt down a 5,000 CFA note, and he brought a group of people, with some of his supporters, and he did that public here in Dakar. So when that happened, the BCAO Bank, which is the central bank of French West Africa, took him to the police and charged him to court for destroying the legal tender of not only the country but the region. So when that happened, they charged him to court, he was arrested, but he was later acquitted because I think the lawyer said it was one, lack of evidence, and also I think the modern laws of the country has nothing to do with what to do when someone burns the coin.
Now, why is this group against the use of the CFA franc?
Well, Kemi Seba and his colleagues think that the CFA franc, which is in several countries in West Africa, Senegal, Benin, Mali, Niger, and Togo, and other French-speaking countries, they are saying the currency is one way or the other how France is also still controlling its countries, the countries it colonized a couple of years ago, because of this money. It is printed in France, you know, and some of these countries clearly believe are paying a huge sum of money to France, in terms of compensation or whatever. And also they think Africa needs its own currency, not only to rely on the CFA franc, which is a currency that is coming from France. It was introduced by France in their own interest. So they want to see Africa having its own currency because throughout this period, African leaders have been talking about having one currency. Even here in West Africa, they have been talking about the eco currencies, but because of currencies like the CFA and what Kenny and the guys believe, being sponsored by France, that's why the country and the region is not independent. So they want the CFA to be abolished in West Africa so that African leaders, West African leaders, will think of having their own currency as a local currency as opposed to the CFA.
Now, one last question, Alpha. How come he got acquitted of burning the legal currency? Isn't that a crime?
I think for someone to burn the legal currency openly, well, maybe looking at it from now on, we will see it's a crime. Maybe, I don't know if it's under economic crime, but in another way, some people were arguing that if I have my money in my pocket and I decide to burn it openly, that's nobody's business. If I have my money, I burn it openly, that's nobody's business. If I steal it from someone, that's a crime. But if I have my money in my pocket, I burn it openly, is my business. I think because of those kind of difficulties of stumbling block, that's why he was discharged initially, and this was from the bank of the central bank in West Africa, the CBAO, which is the CFA bank. But after that now, this later arrest or expulsion was executed by Senegalese government. So they didn't even charge him, say, for example, we are arresting you for burning the CFA, we are doing this. They said his continuous presence in Senegal is a security threat. So they had to expel him back to France because he's carrying a French passport. That was actually what happened. But even his lawyer said the move was unconstitutional because when they moved that move, he was trying to secure some other legal channels to block the expulsion. But now that it has happened, Amnesty, another human rights group in Senegal, have all condemned the action, saying it was illegal, and they want the government to know that it violated the rights of Kenny Seba.
Many thanks for speaking with us, Alpha Kamara from Senegal. Well, Network Africa returns in just a moment with a focus on Africa Tech, talking about empowering young software developers. Please stay with us.